Parliament has passed the 10% reservation for upper caste bill recently, and right now, to talk about it, we have with us renowned constitutional expert Subhash Kashyap with us. Sir, my first question to you is regarding what amendments were required to actually make this bill a law.
The first thing is that the bill has not yet become a law. Parliament consists of three constituents, the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the President of India. So far the bill cannot be said to have been passed by Parliament. It has been passed by the two houses of Parliament. It still needs the assent of the President to become constitutional amendment or part of the Constitution. For a long time, there have been different suggestions in regard to benefiting the economically backward people of this country, irrespective of their religion, of their caste, and so on, which really meant people other than the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and the backward classes who already had the benefit of reservation. So to meet that demand and to cover the economically backward people amongst other than scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and backward classes, Articles 15 and 16 have been amended. There was provision already for socially and educationally backward classes, giving them reservation in matters of admission to educational institutions and in the services. The articles have now been amended to provide for economically backward people also to have 10% reservation in government services and in admission to schools, colleges.
So, sir, my second question is, sir, when the constitution was made, why? So there was the opposition has been saying that reservation was given for the people who were socially and educationally backward. So, sir, do you think in some ways this bill is against the very thinking of our forefathers of constitution?
Well, not only in this respect, in several respects, I believe this amendment and some of the earlier amendments have not been in keeping with the thinking of the founding fathers. For example, the reservation of seats for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes was accepted on the clear condition that it will not be extended to any other group, and secondly, that it will be only for a temporary period. It would not become reservation in perpetuity. Now, the present position seems to be that it has more or less become reservation in perpetuity because no political party can now vote against extension. So every 10 years it is extended, and now it is for 70 years, and it will be for 90 years and 100 years, and God knows how long it will go on. So the intention of the constitution makers have been thwarted clearly. But each generation thinks in its own way, and I believe in this matter, what is important is to separate the principle and ideology of reservation from the politics of reservation. The principle, policy, and ideology of reservation was meant to bring up the underprivileged people who were disadvantaged for ages, to bring them up and put them at the same pedestal or at the same level as other classes and castes. And therefore it was intended to be a temporary measure within the constitution makers at that time said 10 years, and Dr. Ambedkar wanted it for a little longer. But Dr. Ambedkar was also against reservations in perpetuity, and he wanted a casteless, classless society to emerge as soon as possible. So, therefore, the intention of the constitution makers was to adopt it as a policy for a temporary period till the backward people were brought at par with others. While now it has become, for all political parties, we cannot blame any particular political party. I think for all political parties, it had become the politics of reservation, politics of vote banks, and vested interest in keeping the people divided.
Sir, I also wanted to ask, you said in the answer that Dr. Ambedkar wanted a casteless society, and hence he was not not in favor of reservations perpetually. But sir, do you think that our society has actually failed to annihilate the caste, and that is why we are still struggling with the question of reservation, and that's why in our constitution or in our law we still have reservation, and political parties are just taking mileage of that? You have already said that, but sir, the caste has also not gone from the society. So sir, about that.
It has not gone because our electoral system is such that it depends upon dividing society into separate identities. Building separate identities gives advantage, and being only an Indian does not give you an electoral advantage. If you go to the people and ask for votes in the name of your being an Indian first and Indian last, you don't hope to get much votes. But if you go to them and seek their votes on the basis of commonality of community or commonality of caste, then you get votes. So that is what I say, it has become the politics. People have come to parties and people have come to have a vested interest in keeping the people divided so that on the basis of separate identities, their votes can be sought and vote banks can be built. Because statistics show that if you have a 15% vote bank under the present electoral system, you can be 90% sure of winning the election. So why should the candidates bother about the 85%? If building a vote bank of 15% will bring victory to them, why should they bother about 85%? So every party and every candidate has a vested interest in building a vote bank on the basis of his caste, community, etc.
Sir, my last question to you is regarding, will this bill stand the judicial scrutiny once it's challenged in the Supreme Court? It has already been challenged in the Supreme Court yesterday. Sir, what do you think in which favor the judgment might go?
You see, number one, the challenge made yesterday is premature because you could go to the Supreme Court and challenge it only after it has become an act. It has not so far become an act. So I think, in my humble opinion, that petition is not admissible at this stage till it becomes an act. And that is one. So far as what the Supreme Court will decide, it would be extremely unfair, as you people in the media try to do often, to comment on it before the judges have had a go on it. Once the matter is sub judice, advocates particularly should not comment on it outside the court. That, in any case, used to be the established convention till recently. Now I find that comments are made in the media and by advocates also as to what the Supreme Court is likely to do or what it should do. I think it is not proper.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you for talking to us, sir. Thank you so much. This is Alin Chauhan reporting for ETV Bharat.